What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a few days. Yeah, I haven't done an episode recording, whatever you want to call it. Few days. I forgot. I was gonna do it in the afternoon instead of in the morning. Didn't happen, obviously. Um, so let's talk about eBay, and that brings up one of my things. I got the steamer over here running. I'm gonna take it back, so I need to empty it out. So I'm getting all the water out of it. I dumped the reservoir already, but there's still some in the tube and on the bottom. Anyways, and the reason I'm taking it back is if you're looking into getting one, I don't know, man. That's a Walmart one. It wasn't cheap either, and it puts out too much water. So when you're going to steam a clothing, it's just getting it soaking wet. It's not. It's It's weird because I can see it steaming, but it doesn't work well, and it doesn't have a button. It's always on until it runs out of water. And that hose, it looks long, but it's too short. I needed a longer hose. So good luck trying to find one. I think you got to just pay up, $120 or whatever it's gonna be. Anyways, so let's talk about eBay. We sold 14 items yesterday. 14. So not exactly killing it. Um, and if you've never been here onto this channel, I just tell it like it is. I'm not one of those flashy people that I only make videos when things are good. I That's not how you improve. Because if you think about it, most people are going to, if things are going right, you just think, oh, I know everything. I'm doing great. Cool. But if something bad happens, then you really dissect it and analyze it and look at it, and that's when you learn. So you learn more from your mistakes usually, depending on how you look at things, from your mistakes usually than you do from your success. So I try to learn from everything. Like, what are we doing right? Why are we having such good sales? Or why are we having such bad sales? So right now, I'm a clothing seller and I'm looking at my numbers. I'm a clothing seller and who really wants to buy used clothing for someone for Christmas? Probably not going to happen. I do have some new, but it's 5% of my store. Um, and plus, you have all these other big chains running crazy sales right now. Same thing happened last year. Same thing did happen last year, but we got a lot more items than last year. So the day just started pretty much. I mean, it's still early. And we're down 1.9% versus the first 3 days of December 2021. So we'll pass that. We'll be fine. But I'd always like compare it to the previous year now that I have that data. And so let's actually go back and look. Let's look at December 2021 because I kind of remember what happened, what was going on. And that was, we were coming up on our 1 year anniversary of being in the business. So we didn't know everything, but that's it. Actually, let me start over. I think that my business partner had just started doing some listings, some drafts, somewhere late summer, maybe. I can't remember exactly when. So we had really good feedback between the two of us. We were together at Christmas time. I remember that. We actually ordered a crap ton of inventory. Holy crap. I think we spent like 2 grand on Christmas Eve ordering a bunch of inventory because I was able to get it at a good price, which isn't everything. Um, so yeah, so we were able to have a lot of dialogue back and forth because since he was doing drafts, I didn't just wake up, by the way. Um, since he was doing drafts, he was understanding more about pricing, about the market, about eBay, about how things worked. Because I just started this by myself. As far as we had a business idea, we said, okay, let's start the business. And I knew he had a full-time job, so I knew he wasn't going to be able to help. So I just hit it hard. Spent about a month researching things, and then we finally started the business, formed the corporation, and then I just started to slowly, all right, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, and got the pathway of clothing and stuck on clothing ever since. Um, Early on, we went to clothing, probably maybe 2 months in, I'd say. We decided, let's just do clothing. And so, anyways, so my point is, by December of last year, we had a pretty good handle on business, how eBay worked. Um, I was part of my Facebook group. I should say my Facebook group. I was part of a Facebook group. So learned some more there. And so I kind of felt like, or feel like at this point, we had, I mean, you don't know, you're never going to know everything. And you're always learning, hopefully. Like compared to what I know now from last year, I know a lot, right? So just about business, I know more about business and I know more about eBay and clothing and kind of how we want everything to intertwine and what our goal is. So, and saying, oh, I just want to make money, that's not good enough. Um, so when I look at December, I go, okay, how did we do? So this is comparing December to October. Oh, okay. October 31st to November 30th of 2021 because it's 31 days. Okay. So we did worse in December than we did in November of last year. So is that going to repeat this year? Okay, now let's look at, let me pull something up, and I actually need to update this. Um, where is it? Oh, it's in here. Uh, yeah, I need to update this. So my computer didn't come with Excel. It's really weird. If I download this, what's going to happen? Sorry. By the way, so 2 nights ago we had a blizzard. Enable editing. Keep an eye on it. Sign in to get started with Office. Sure. I don't know what my Microsoft account is. And that's telling me to buy a Microsoft 365. Okay, anyways, my point is this. Um, we were on what, November? So last November, I'm sorry, December. Well, we can look at November. So last November we had 3,500 listings. This November, and I do it at the end of the month. So at the end of November, let's look at these. We're 6839, so we were probably at a 60, we'll say 6,700. Well, it's only been 3 days. I haven't done that many. 6,750. Sorry, I hear noises above me. I'm in the basement. 6,750. Okay, so we have 6732. So we'll say we have 3,200 more listings than we did last year for November, and we only did 1.5 more sales per day. So what does that tell you? It's either the economy, um, stores, big department chains are offering better sales. I suck. Uh, because I don't have better items in the store. I wasn't aggressive enough on my markdowns and sales, but you got to make sure you can't just go willy-nilly. You got to make sure you know where your profit margin is or your numbers, all that stuff. So I don't know. There's a lot of different factors that go into why was I down versus, you know, I actually let's take a look. I shouldn't even say that because I don't know. So last month versus same month last year. I think we were down in net sales. Yeah. So we were up 6.9% in total sales, but our net sales were down 5.5%. And we sold 12.4% more items. So why were we? By the way, our traffic for yesterday, 814,000 impressions, which have gone down a lot. Uh, our conversion rate 1.2, 1.1 on the top 20, and 3.8 on the rest search slot. So I'd like to get those up. That's one thing we're working on with better brands. So what were we going to look at? Oh, let's look at last year. Let's look at November of last year. Oh, oops. I must just not have slept that great. So let's see. And I know this doesn't, I don't know, this is just the kind of stuff that I look at. So maybe you guys like looking at it too. For your store, I'll give you an idea of what you should look at. Okay, so our selling costs were 47%. This year they were 52.8. What increased our selling costs? So let's see. eBay fees. See, this is important though. This is important stuff to look at to know. Not to say, oh, my selling costs went up. Well, why? So you compare side by side. First, you gotta know what damn year you're looking at. What year is this? So this is 2021. Okay. So you do your sales cost breakdown. Okay. And you say final value fees were a little bit more. Ad fees. We had a lot of expenses in ad fees. Shipping labels. That went up because we sold more items. So is my ad fees, which is your promoted listing. So I promoted at a higher percentage. That's why I didn't make as much money, or that's why my selling costs were 5% higher. See, easy peasy. Now you understand. So when you look at 2021, we sold 10% more items. Wait, let's do this. I don't even know if I can go back this far. November 2020. This is going to be kind of skewed because we didn't really do anything in November 2020. But what I'm trying to see is, the growth I'm having. So let's go back and do it to October, since we can't compare November. Hmm, Okay. So we sold more items than the previous month. We sold more items in 2022 than we did in November 2021. So I'm looking at our growth because one thing I always look at is not necessarily how much money am I making, but how many items am I selling? Because if I can replace those items with better items, then that tells me people are still buying things. They're still spending money. And so when I look at 2021, right? 347 divided by 30 was 11. Oh, we already said that. 11.5, and we got 13 this year. So people are still buying. We're still selling stuff. We sold more than last year. We didn't net more because we had a higher promoted listing cost. That's the only difference. Okay, so that's good to see. We still have some growth. Even though we don't have the best brands, we still have some growth. And now we are better brands. So I still have a bunch of wash that I need to do. I've been slowly doing that. That's what the corner pile is, that black thing. Um, Sorry, that drained all the water. I don't want to burn it up because I'm going to return it. Anyhow, so I'm going to do some wash and I'm going to mix it in with the better brand stuff. And I'm tracking the percentage. Probably have a spreadsheet. Probably every 2 weeks, I'll go in and I'll count how many we have of each of the brands that I think are good brands that I want in my store. Excuse me. And then I'll see, okay, our percentage is at 5, and then it's at 7, and then it's at, just what percentage of our store is the good brands we want. And then we'll just watch that rise. And we'll see how things turn out. That should help sales. I don't think December is going to be very great. Um, it wasn't last year. Um, I don't think it's going to be this year. For me personally, where my store's at, being a clothing seller, I don't think it's going to happen. Um, so there's last year. Let's look at this year. So we're up 97.1% for gross sales, which, I mean, gross sales is kind of a weird number because it includes your shipping and everything. And I guess it's how you do it though, right? Include your shipping and your taxes and everything. So we're up 97.1% versus last year. So that's good. Um, what's not good is that, where is it? Well, I moved, so that hurt. That hurt May and June, and then July was the rebound month. But this is 2 years in a row now. I've had good, like steady growth, and then I get to November and it's like, oh, and it's really weird too because it's let's look at November. It started like right away. I think last month. It started like right at the beginning of the month. Yeah. Let's look at October and see exactly when in October. So there's two things. One, it's good to analyze things. Two, don't overdo it. I overdo it sometimes. So what is this? Yeah, see? It's like literally November 1st. It's like someone hit a button on our store. Stop. October was our best month ever. It was pretty steady. Anyways, it's funny when people post in the group, you look at your total sales, that number can look awesome. But I always want to ask people, hey, so how much of that do you keep? What's your net profit? But I don't want to be that guy because I think some people don't even think of it that way. They're just like, oh, I made whatever. So, but yeah, that's what's going on with eBay, guys. This is just a little, again, if you're new here, this is just a little insight for me to kind of talk about things. So we talked. Today's plan, I don't know if I'm going to actually do any listing. I might. I'm ahead. I'm pretty far ahead. So could always be further. Got like 120 drafts or something. Let's actually see. 143. And 52 of those are here. The others are at his house. So I don't know. I do got to run a sale. So we'll just keep grinding away. I mean, that's really all you can do. If I can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, getting the better brands, um, we'll just see how things go, right? That's really all you can do. Can't force it. So it's got to be smart. Don't go crazy on your sales and on your coupons and see how these people run all these crazy. Oh, I've sold all these items. Well, if you made sold 20 items and made $10, I'd rather sell 2 items and make $10. It's flawless work. So just got to kind of think of things like that. Don't do what sounds good. Do what's financially sound. Who cares about Instagram and looking cool online? All that stuff's fake anyways. All right. Drink your water. Um, and go have a good day. All right. We will see you next time. Take care, everybody.